Listen to me carefully. There are moments in life where you feel broken, shattered, and torn apart by the weight of your own failures. There are nights where you stare at the ceiling, questioning everything, your purpose, your worth, your future. You wonder if all the blood, sweat, and tears you've poured into your dreams mean anything at all. And in those quiet moments, when nobody's watching, doubt begins to creep in like a poison. But let me tell you this, doubt is the enemy that will rob you of your destiny. It will whisper in your ear that you're not good enough, not strong enough, not smart enough. Doubt will tell you that maybe you should quit, maybe you should take the easy way out, maybe the process is too slow, maybe the plan isn't working. But I'm here to rip that voice out of your head and replace it with the truth. The process never lies. You can hate it, you can resist it, you can scream at it, but if you stick to the plan, if you endure the pain, if you refuse to quit, the process will reward you. The process doesn't care about your feelings. The process doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care if you're tired, if you're broke, if you're heartbroken. It only responds to discipline, commitment, and relentless effort. Discipline over doubt is the line that separates winners from the masses. Everyone feels doubt. Everyone wakes up with that voice in the back of their mind that says, maybe you're not enough, maybe this is pointless, maybe today you should take it easy. Doubt is natural, but what makes someone extraordinary is their ability to silence that voice and replace it with action. Discipline is the antidote to doubt. Discipline doesn't require belief, it doesn't demand you to be motivated, it doesn't even need you to feel confident. Discipline simply says, do it anyway. The greatest mistake people make is waiting until they feel ready before they act. They wait for confidence, they wait for motivation, they wait for the perfect moment. But the perfect moment never comes. Doubt will never disappear on its own. You cannot negotiate with it, you cannot wait it out. The only way to crush doubt is to starve it with consistent action. Every single day that you follow through, every single day you stick to the plan regardless of how you feel, you weaken doubt's grip on your life. Discipline means you show up when you don't want to. Discipline means you work when no one is watching. Discipline means you don't break promises to yourself. Doubt thrives in weakness, in inconsistency, in hesitation. But when you live with discipline, doubt has nowhere to hide. When you wake up and force yourself to attack the day, when you follow your plan with relentless focus, when you put in the work without complaining, you are proving to yourself that you are stronger than your emotions. And once you prove that to yourself enough times, doubt becomes irrelevant. People fail not because they're incapable, but because they allow doubt to control their choices. Discipline turns that around. Discipline creates a new identity, one built on strength, one built on commitment. Every act of discipline is a declaration that you are not at the mercy of your feelings. You are in control. The world belongs to those who move forward despite doubt, not those who sit back waiting for certainty. That's why winners look different, why they carry themselves with unshakable confidence. It's not that they never doubted, it's that they never bowed to it. Discipline is the weapon that slays doubt every single time. Consistency is the silent force that separates ordinary from extraordinary. It isn't glamorous, it isn't loud, and most of the time it doesn't even feel rewarding in the moment. But consistency is the weapon that destroys excuses, silences doubt, and compounds small actions into massive results. People often underestimate the power of doing something small every single day because they're obsessed with instant gratification. They want quick rewards, fast outcomes, overnight success. But the truth is, nothing great is ever built overnight. Champions aren't made in a single workout, millionaires aren't made in a single decision, legacies aren't made in a single day. They are built by consistent action, repeated over and over, long after the excitement has faded. Consistency doesn't care how motivated you feel. Motivation comes and goes, but consistency is what keeps the engine running. It's about showing up when you're tired, when you're uninspired, when life throws distractions at you. The strongest people are not those who work hard for a week. They are those who keep working when it's been months and the results still haven't shown up. The world rewards consistency because it proves you are serious. Anyone can commit for a short burst of time, but very few can commit long enough to outlast the struggle. That is why consistency is rare, and anything rare becomes valuable. Think about water dripping on a rock. One drop means nothing, 10 drops mean nothing, but years of drops in the same spot eventually carve through solid stone. That is the power of consistency, quiet, relentless, unstoppable. Most people fail because they break the chain. They put in effort for a week, maybe a month, and when they don't see the result, they stop. What they don't realize is that every day they quit, they reset the process back to zero. Success is not about intensity alone, it's about persistence. Consistency builds trust within yourself. Every time you show up for your plan, you prove to yourself that you can be relied upon. That creates momentum, and momentum is the key to breakthroughs. The gym sessions, the late nights, the early mornings, the repeated sacrifices, they don't show results immediately, but they're stacking up in the background, preparing to explode all at once. That explosion, that tipping point, only comes to those who stay consistent long enough. The truth is, greatness is boring most of the time. It's repetition, it's discipline, it's consistency. But those who embrace the boredom, those who do the work again and again without needing instant rewards, those are the ones who rise. You don't need to be the most talented, the smartest, or the strongest. You just need to be the one who refuses to stop. Consistency will beat talent, intelligence, and luck over time. Never doubt the process, never abandon the plan, because consistency is the bridge that will carry you from where you are now to everything you dream of becoming. Pain is the price of greatness, and anyone who tells you otherwise is lying. Nothing worth having has ever been achieved without sacrifice, struggle, and suffering. People want the glory, but they don't want the grind. They want the reward, but not the responsibility. They want the crown, but not the weight it carries. The truth is, pain is not the enemy. It is the admission fee to enter the world of greatness. Every champion you've ever admired has bled for their dream. Every legacy that inspires you was paid for in sleepless nights, broken bones, rejection, humiliation, and heartbreak. Greatness demands pain, because only through pain can you be transformed into someone strong enough to handle success. Most people run from pain. They think the goal of life is comfort, ease, and safety. But comfort is the enemy of growth. If you're comfortable, you're not growing. If you're comfortable, you're stuck. Pain is the teacher that forces you to evolve. It tears you apart and rebuilds you. It humbles you, then hardens you. It breaks down weakness and forges resilience. Without pain, you remain ordinary. With pain, you have the chance to become extraordinary. Think about the gym. Muscles don't grow without resistance. They only grow when they're torn apart, when they're stressed, when they're forced to adapt. Life is the same way. Your spirit doesn't grow without struggle. Your mind doesn't grow without challenges. Your character doesn't grow without heartbreak. Pain is the resistance that forces you to level up. So instead of running from it, embrace it. When life hurts, remind yourself, this is the process shaping me into someone stronger. The weak search for shortcuts. They quit when it gets uncomfortable. They avoid pain at all costs, and in doing so, they avoid greatness as well. But the strong understand that pain is temporary and pride is forever. They understand that every sacrifice, every tear, every sleepless night is an investment. Pain feels endless while you're in it, but one day you'll look back and realize it was the very thing that built your strength, sharpened your mind, and prepared you for the life you wanted. You cannot separate pain from greatness. They are two sides of the same coin. The deeper the pain, the greater the transformation. The greater the transformation, the closer you get to victory. If you want a life that others dream about, you must be willing to endure what others cannot. Success isn't free. It demands your comfort, your peace, and sometimes even your sanity. But if you're willing to pay the price, if you can endure the storms without breaking, the reward will be worth it. Pain is not punishment. It is proof you are on the right path. Embrace it, survive it, and rise through it. Because in the end, greatness doesn't belong to those who avoided pain. It belongs to those who carried it, conquered it, and turned it into power. Trust the process, ignore the noise. That sentence alone can change your life if you live by it. The world is full of noise, opinions, doubts, criticism, and distractions, all designed to pull you away from your path. When you start chasing a dream, people will laugh, they will question you, they will remind you of every failure in your past. They'll say it's impossible, they'll say you're wasting your time, They'll say you should settle for something smaller, safer, easier. That noise is powerful, and if you let it in, it will plant seeds of doubt in your mind. Doubt grows quickly when it's fed by other people's negativity. That's why you must learn to silence the outside voices and trust the process you committed to. The process doesn't lie. The process is neutral, it's honest, and it never cheats anyone. If you stay disciplined, if you follow the plan, the process will give you exactly what you deserve. But the problem is, the process takes time. And when time drags on and the results don't show up right away, that's when the noise feels louder. People will say, "See, I told you it wouldn't work." And if you're weak, you'll start to believe them. But here's the truth. The process is always working in the background, even when you don't see it. Seeds don't sprout the same day they're planted. You water them, you give them light, and eventually they grow. Success works the same way. The reason most people never make it is because they can't ignore the noise long enough to let the process do its work. They get distracted by opinions, they get discouraged by slow results, and they quit just before the breakthrough. That's the tragedy. You never know how close you are when you stop. You could be one more rep away, one more month of effort away, one more sacrifice away. But if you let the noise convince you to quit, you'll never find out. Trusting the process requires faith, but not blind faith. It's faith backed by discipline, by action, by consistency. It's faith that if you stick to the plan, if you put in the work, if you endure the struggle, the reward will come. And the noise, it's irrelevant. People who criticize you aren't living your life. They don't know your vision, they don't see your plan, they don't understand your purpose. If they did, they'd be walking your path, not mocking it from the sidelines. Greatness demands selective hearing. You must learn to block out anything that doesn't push you forward. If it isn't fueling your growth, it's just noise. And when the results finally come, when success finally shows itself, all that noise will turn into silence. The same people who doubted you will pretend they always believed. That's why you can't live for their approval. You must live for your purpose. So trust the process, ignore the noise, and keep moving. Because the noise fades, but the rewards of discipline last forever. The plan is your path to victory, and without it, you are walking blind into a battlefield. Too many people think success comes from luck, talent, or waiting for the perfect opportunity, but that's a lie. Success is not an accident. It's engineered, it's structured, and it's built day after day according to a plan. The plan is the map that takes you from where you are to where you want to be. Without it, you're lost wandering in circles, wasting years of your life chasing distractions. With it, every step you take has meaning, every action compounds, and every sacrifice moves you closer to the life you want. A plan is not just a set of goals, it's a commitment. It's the promise you make to yourself that no matter what happens, no matter how you feel, no matter how long it takes, you will not deviate. Life will throw obstacles at you. It will test your patience, it will tempt you with shortcuts, it will push you toward comfort. But the plan is the anchor that keeps you steady when everything else tries to pull you off course. Without a plan, you will fold under pressure. With a plan, you can face chaos and still move forward. The truth is, the plan will not always feel exciting. There will be days where progress feels invisible. There will be weeks where you question whether it's even working. But that's when the plan matters most. It protects you from your own emotions. It prevents you from making decisions based on doubt or fear. And it forces you to keep moving even when you're blind to the results. The process may be invisible in the short term, but the plan ensures that the invisible work eventually becomes visible success. Most people lose because they don't stick to their plan. They chase trends, they get distracted by opinions, or they abandon their path when the rewards don't show up fast enough. They confuse activity with progress, and they waste energy on things that don't matter. But winners know better. Winners understand that victory is reserved for those who can endure boredom, who can repeat the basics relentlessly, who can execute the same strategy day after day until the results explode. The plan is your path to victory because it guarantees progress. Even if it's slow, even if it's painful, even if no one notices, it's still forward movement. Every action builds on the last. Every sacrifice sharpens you. Every day you stick to the plan, you're laying bricks on the road that leads to your destiny, and one day you'll look back and realize that every victory you've achieved, every mountain you've conquered, every success you've tasted, was the direct result of a plan you refused to abandon. The world doesn't reward those who dream without structure, it rewards those who execute with discipline. Victory is not random, it's calculated, so guard your plan, protect it, and follow it relentlessly. Because as long as you stay on the path, victory is not a matter of if, but when. When it's all said and done, the truth is simple. Doubt will try to destroy you, pain will try to break you, and the world will try to distract you. But if you remain disciplined over doubt, if you respect the power of consistency, if you accept that pain is the price of greatness, if you trust the process and ignore the noise, and if you never abandon your plan, then victory is inevitable. You will not just win once. You will keep winning, because you will have built yourself into the kind of person who cannot be broken. Life will never hand you success on a silver platter. It will make you fight, bleed, and sacrifice for it. But that is what makes it worth it. That's what makes the victory sweet. When you rise after being knocked down, when you keep moving forward through storms, when you keep showing up even when no one believes in you, that's when you know you're different from the rest. That's when you know you are built for greatness. The process may be long, the plan may test you, the sacrifices may feel unbearable, but the destination is worth every moment of suffering, because in the end, success is not just about what you achieve, it's about who you become along the way. You become stronger, sharper, hungrier, and unstoppable. And when you stand on top, when you finally claim the victory you've worked for, you'll know deep down it wasn't luck, it wasn't chance, it wasn't a miracle. It was discipline, consistency, resilience, and faith in the process. So never doubt the process. Stick to the plan, endure the pain, ignore the noise, and remember greatness belongs only to those who refuse to quit.